Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Literally started raining just a little bit, but just now, so maybe that's a sign. I'm not quite sure what I'll end up titling this video yet. You know, the headline I'll use to pull you in so that you'll receive the actual true message here. Guys, that's what the title is for, okay? Friendly reminder. But I was thinking about something like I care a lot about what other people think of me. And regardless, that's going to be one of several points I bring up in this video. Like all my videos, this video too is based on me for you, okay? But if there is one personal message in here for me, Theo, it is that I, Theo, am weary, tired and depleted from giving so much of myself away, especially recently, and now ending up in this spot where it's like, well, I've just not gotten nearly as much back. And I also want to acknowledge that it is a shadow trait of being the sort of person I am. You know, someone that very willingly and freely gives away of themselves many times without being asked to do so at all and feeling good about it up until that point when you notice that, hey, I clearly overstepped my boundary, and then instead of taking responsibility, being all entitled, you know, like, I do so much, I should get more, I deserve more, I'm entitled to more, whatever it is, back, right? And I want to make clear that I'm not coming from that place at all here, just so that I can express myself freely, because I want to express how I feel, and I'm going to give myself a lot of credit for some really good stuff about me, but I'll be all humble and chill about it, okay? So, you know, you don't have to be too triggered. I realize just saying that, I probably, you know, am too triggering, too above it all, too throwing in your face, that whatever, you know, whatever people make up about that. But look at me here. I'm here in my most humble and modest outfit, speaking quietly and calm to you, okay? So let's actually start on that, what other people think about you point. You know, it's a dual message in that sentence that we're going to come to. But of course, it's a typical, like a point I want to make about it. But, you know, it's a typical thing that people say. You shouldn't care what other people think about you. And generally, that's often good advice. You know, when someone is worried, they want to do something that they genuinely want to do, that is like right for them, but they're worried what people will think, how people will react. And then it's completely true that, hey, if it's truly right for you, you cannot let what other people think about it get in the way. But at the same time, not caring at all, it's just not, like, first of all, no one can. You cannot tell, you shouldn't care. It's like you shouldn't. It's like, well, we're going to either way, or else we're not human. So it's just both that like you have to realize that you're going to, at least to a degree, care what other people think of you, but also it wouldn't serve you if you have zero interest in what people think of you. That would both burn you personally, because you're just not going to have a good idea of what people think. You never think about it at all. You're not curious to get to know it. And so, yeah, you'll actually end up in a worse position both for yourself and with regards to other people, because also, if you don't care what other people think, like you're probably going to end up being quite unpleasant to some people. So you see, there is nuance here. And what I realized a long time ago, because I used to be very fearful, like, what do people think of me? Like in groups I am in, social circles I'm involved in, it's like, what do they say behind my back? I know I can be like this, and when I did this, what did they think? I wonder what people said. You know, it's from a fearful place. It's it's fear of abandonment, a fear of being looked at in a certain way, judged, and, you know, abandoned to one way or another. You'll be involved less, you know, if not completely abandoned. But I realized some time ago, a long time ago now, when I started changing and working on myself, that, you know, it's all about curiosity. That's also what I want you to understand, that when I am like all offensive and triggering and stuff, like being that a bit more actively, if that bothers you, if you can be curious, like, what's the message actually here that Theo is trying to give, and curious in, like, why do I feel bothered by this, you know? Like, don't take your face, like, reaction, like, as the complete and utter truth. But so, yeah, everything, when it's, instead of, I wonder what they'll say behind my back, like, fearful, like, I kind of have to change, I have to conform more so they don't say bad stuff behind my back, when it's just like, I wonder what people do say behind my back, because, you know, you realize that it's interesting that most people just won't tell you the truth to your face. And you know, people talk about each other, might even talk about, like, flaws in each other behind the back, but they don't really, like, dislike this person. You know, they're just, like, talking about it, like, oh, yeah, he needs to work on this, or he can be annoying when he does this, whatever it is, right? So you just realize that if you could hear what people say behind your back, there would be a lot of, if you could just be curious and take it in, because this has happened to me. I hear what people in my real life have said about me, and I'm always like, And sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I guess there is a point to that. And I'm not even offended. I'm like, I'm so glad I got to know that information because no one tells me. And now it's like, that's maybe what that person and that person felt also. Like, good to know, right? But many times also, if you just can be open-minded, if you can take stuff in without immediately reacting to or judging or defending yourself, you're just like, let me just consider this. Of course, many times you'll just end up then still seeing that, hey, this person is actually their immaturity or their fault. They don't quite see me. They don't quite get me, right? And I have many examples of this. But yeah, guys, I want you to realize it's, some people would like, finally you're vulnerable or something with a video like this. And it's like, you don't even realize how vulnerable I am when I do the videos you think are like the most ego. That kind of person would say that when you have to talk about how you're above it all, I'm better than you sort of thing, It's like, it's knowing that you're going to take it that way. That's what makes that the most vulnerable and humble. Do you realize that? People, it's like, being humble is being all fucking pleasant and nice and like, see, even though I'm much better than you at some things, I'll just talk like this and pretend to be all nice. Da, da, da. It's not humble necessarily sometimes, but that's also the thing. It's like people like to cherry pick when I'm all cocky or something. And don't like, okay, and how about all the fucking extremely deep and intimate details I share about myself all the time? The way I put myself completely naked for the world and I'm prepared that I can get stabbed right where it hurts, and I will all the time too. And I just keep doing it, how is that not vulnerable? How is that not humble, But for this sake also, when I actually go out of my way to be a bit more provocative, and having that, that is the humble, that is vulnerable. I know that, guys that like me a lot, they won't like this side of me, and some of them will have better reason than others, Most of the time, it is actually your fear of asserting yourself like that, owning your strengths like that, standing up to bullies like that, daring to be angry. A lot of us have been shamed into thinking anger is something ugly, Most of the time, that's that. And that's actually, you need that video the most. You want to watch all the videos and be like, see, my bro Theo, someone that thinks like me, But if that's the one that hurts you, that's the one you need the most. But then there is that unfortunate thing that I know it's going to be, if I do a few cocky kind of videos in a row, some guys, it's just going to be annoying because they don't actually need that message. And you're not going to be triggered. You're probably the guy that's not going to have to write it out in a comment or something. You're going to be just like, I hope we can just get through this so we can get back to some other stuff. I know it myself. An example that comes to mind is the snake diet guy that, never mind what he does now. Like back in the day, I learned a lot about fasting from him. And I liked him. I had a lot of great info. And I could see that he cares a lot about people. That's what I also know, that many of us, that people will think that, we're cocky or arrogant or full of ourselves. It's like, no, we're so actually humble that we let you think that while we do way more for you than other people. But at the same time, with him, he would always yell, be angry, and call me a fat pig every other sentence. And it's like, I'm not even triggered by it. It's just like, I just want the information, bro. I get tired of that. So, that's it. It's like, you cannot please everyone with every video. And that's also the point, guys. Caring what other people think about you. I've done a lot of that in my life. It's, people won't think that with the kind of person I am, and that I have people-pleasing tendencies, and I've had them big time. But it's that the conflict that some of us find ourselves in, that in one way, we're not conformists at all, and we're very truth-telling, So there's there's the conflict paradox with, but I'm also very sensitive to other people's energies and what they think about me and that. So, it's a constant work of really knowing, like, but I am right. I have the truth about this. I was like, but can I say it? These people got this reaction, la, 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 la. And sometimes even just by accident, you just don't realizing how people take certain things, ending up not pleasing people, right? Yeah, guys, the thing is, I've noticed that happens to me no matter what I do, When people are like, now complain about some videos I made, that also, by the way, always perform a lot better than all the nice videos, but people have certain critique. Oh, now you think this, or you're arrogant, you're full of yourself, or think you're so above it all. You just have to be like that, Thing is, I get the exact same response from some people when I don't do that, when I'm like the nicest, most least unhinged version of myself. So it's like, guys, you cannot win. You cannot ever win. And guess why, guys? I do this video. These kinds of videos, like, I'm the king and you are not, and talk about when you are the king. You have to be humble in that sense that, a lot of people are just going to get you wrong. They're not going to see at all the good you do. They're going to focus on something to criticize, and they're not going to see that even when you're like being mean, quote unquote, to them, you're actually doing it from a place of love. Because love, it's about the intention behind something. When someone is acting in an indecent way they couldn't be reasoned with in a nice way, guess what? At a point, just complete and utter abandonment is a loving thing to do. But telling them now mean things, like, okay, you won't take this in a nice way. Well, I gotta poke you where it hurts then, so that you have a chance to wake up, And I already know from experience in my life that so many people that hate me today, they will come around later and maybe not tell me directly, all of them, but like be like, fuck, I realized Theo was right all along. I see now, And it's like, you just have to take this on the chin. And you just don't get so much back ever. And that's the thing, guys. What I'm learning, and the point I want to get across in this video, is that if you're going to be fatherly, if you're going to be of your father's nature, a man of God, whatever you like to call it, a good man, if you don't want to bring spirituality in it at all, the thing is about being a good man, especially like at human beings in general, giving love to each other and then receiving it also is, of course, what we're supposed to do. But especially the man is a giver. He's supposed to give more to others than to himself. But the difficult balance there is that a man has to learn to prioritize himself in order to prioritize more people even more. If you give away too much too soon, now you're depleted, and now you don't have as much for yourself or anyone else. So it's a very difficult balance. And clearly Theodore, the gift from God that my name means, and I realize is my destiny, really struggles with this. It's like the boundary. I never overstep on being too selfish. It's always being too selfless. And then if I get triggered, the martyrdom comes, then I could suddenly become too selfish, right? So now, guys, well, I guess because I just know I attract a lot of, I've realized I attract a lot of uncommon individuals, and I am attracted to them, right? So that's why I know that when I just share something about myself, it's always a message for you as well, But so many of you will recognize this, that, hey, I'm actually the good guy, I'm the one that cares most. I'm the one that gives most, and so often have to get looked at as the bad guy, And there is that balance, where there's going to be a degree of just accepting that. You have to, because all of us would like to feel seen and heard for who we are and understood at all times. It's just not going to happen, especially, honestly, the greater and more capable of a person that you are. You cannot expect that. So part of it is learning to accept that. But the other is to actually give yourself more. Give yourself even more than you currently do. If you feel that way, I give, I don't get as much back. Well, you can never expect to get as much back, but maybe you have to learn better balance. Give yourself more so that you don't end up there. I'm learning now. I'm so glad I've been so aware this time that all I feel is just tired and weary. I don't feel, used, abused, or mistreated in that way. Like, by some people, but it's not enough. I count on that. Little hater shits, But honestly, it's also some people in my real life. People don't realize, if I am to give myself some credit here, before I get to the point, like how to deal with this, like, people don't realize how much I fucking do for people. All the time, but especially these last 3 weeks. I'm not exaggerating if I say that I've spent 10 to 12 hours per day pouring into other people the way I'm doing now. If it's in a video, if it's on a live stream, if it's on a client, if it's just people in my life. If I come to the gym and I'm going to train and I see that the person working there is not feeling well, I know that I can do something for them. I have to do it, 10 to 12 hours, just giving, mostly one-sided. Of course, I get something out of it, but that's the point. Even if you like it, there's a point where it doesn't matter that you like it. You would need more back. And like 1 to 2 hours per day, that's actually personal for me, Either me doing something for me or having a social interaction that's actually equal or actually for me, People don't see how much I do. And honestly, again, I am very happy and grateful for where I am in life, but I think that I deserve a lot more. It's like I actually know it now. I know I deserve so much more. I've had issues with that. Interesting how many people like me have that they actually have great value, but have a hard time seeing it. I see it very clearly now. Like my coaching prices, I feel completely fine with. I think I deserve so much more. I just have to be humble that, well, I don't reach everyone that you know, because of the reach I have, I just cannot do it like that now. But I know that, you know, it will be way more expensive in the future, because what I give here is amazing. Like, I don't know anyone. I'm the most capable person I know. Not that I'm best at everything, or anything like that. Not that I don't have flaws or make mistakes. But as a whole, it's like, you know, I think of some of the answers I give about like mental health and depression on my live streams. I'm like, did you know a client has told me that, like on one of our first call or second call, like, you told me shit, you made me have realizations that I didn't get from years in therapy with just this call, you know. I know this, right? And so it's just like, well, I clearly just don't get enough back at all. And when I do the videos I've done the last few weeks, like, I do it knowingly that none of these will be my most popular. I lose subscribers when I trigger Christians that won't listen to what I actually say. And be all offended, take the bait too hard, you know, even though I tell them kind of that I'm doing that. I know all of that, and so I'm fine with it. I want to do it still, you know, but it always comes to a point where it like hits you that, man, I do this something so great I give here, and really so few even receive it or like want to do anything in return, you know, to lift you up back. And I guess I was just thinking, because I have the point I want to come to, but I guess, you know, it's like you wish that people, you know, the hardest thing is like everyone invading on you as a person, you know. It's one thing, like, you know, that, like, you know, the most low level hate and stuff that I get, it's like, it really doesn't get to me personally at all. It's like I said, like the fake natty thing, for instance. It's been a long time since I took any personal offense to it. It is kind of draining, even a thing like that, though, when really what you're trying to do is even this person accusing you of being a fake natty, making them see, I'm not. You can do a lot too, buddy. And so it's not so much like, oh, discrediting the work behind the physique or something. It's more like, I'm trying to help you and you don't get it, you know. And of course it's even worse many times when it's like the people who feel like they are mostly on my side, on board here. But when I show this also authentic side of me, where I'm more loud and cocky and yelling and assertive, triggering, provocative, which it's part of my like humor, my comedy as well. When guys want to shrink that, you know, really focus on when I do something else, like, oh, that's so great. Oh, finally this Theo back. I don't it's been too much of that other Theo, you know. Or like, oh, Theo, I like you, but it's like I'm watching another person when I see this video. It's like, you know, because you suddenly don't just see me, you see your insecurity when you see that other person. But yeah, it feels like an invasion. People want you to be a certain way all the time, you know. And you have, as the king, you always have to be like, well, I just gotta be me, because I know for the greater good. And there is that part. But man, I'm just telling you, it's not easy at all. If people fucking understood how hard what I do is, you know, like I keep saying, just to make it clear, that it's not martyrdom. It's not like I'm telling you all that I do is just hell and difficult, because then why would I be here trying to, you know, tell you to do anything about it? No, the upside is amazing. The upside is amazing. But in between, people don't realize how fucking much it takes, you know. Who puts themselves out there, shares so freely, you know, about my love problems, my insecurities, about feeling lonely, and even like all kinds, even this video, you know, who does it? Who is this person like I am? For your benefit, okay? Clearly I get something out of it, but many things is like, it's like I wouldn't even have to talk. I have to wait. I have to really collect myself, you know. It is for you in the end. And I just have this duty that fucking people don't seem to have. That I know that me taking the risk of being hurt, getting difficulty for myself, well, for the greater good, it's worth it, right? And I'm really proud of this. I think I'm a fucking great guy because of all of this that I've told you in this video. But so if you can recognize yourself just in the big picture here, because there's going to be many people that do, what you have to do is like, before I've ended up in that entitlement, okay, that, you know, you choose to give and stuff. You choose to invest in certain people and things, and then you're going to complain and be all butthurt that it isn't paying off. First of all, I see that in my life, it's like a pattern that I have to show extreme patience and that my intentions are true. Like, even when I know I'm coming from the right place, it's like I'm going to be tested so I don't, you know, stumble in that and change. You know, I have to keep going, really prove to God, you know, that I am doing this from the right place. But so, yeah, that's just a pattern I see for me, if someone recognizes it. But what you gotta do, you know, if you actually feel like, hey, I'm depleted now, I feel underappreciated, undervalued, misunderstood, whatever it is, you know, you still have to take responsibility for that. You let that happen. In this case, I let that happen. And that's why, guys, I'm always trying to help us, you know, grow together sooner by telling you on my live streams, for instance, that, guys, you know, please do send super chats, because right now I can prioritize it, but I'm just not going to be able to at a certain point. And I would need you to support in this way so that I want to, but I know I cannot do just what I want. I got to do what Theo needs. That's what I forget all the time, right? What Theo needs. Clearly, you know, the thing is, if you built yourself into what I am now, just the physique and everything, you've clearly learned to give a lot to yourself and prioritize yourself. But it's also, the more you have to give, the more you have to give away, and you still can end up feeling depleted, is the point. But guys, I'm just telling you now, I've reached a point where I might do a live stream on this Sunday. I'm leaving it open, but I might. But then you're going to see that there's going to gradually be fewer videos and fewer live streams. And I mean, if you don't give a shit, cool for you, you know. But if you do give a shit, I'm telling you that you can make a difference in this. There's one important point I forgot that I must add on the whole topic of potentially having to stop doing YouTube live streams, or, you know, drastically decrease them. There will always be the odd one on YouTube as well. But I've been thinking about this idea and truly realizing it with some kind of group coaching I did a long time ago that would replace the live streams, you know, let's say a weekly Q&A stream where I could also then bring on people to actually talk directly for a few minutes with me, one at a time. And also this community, sort of paid community thing where I could put more effort into that. I'll always do the free stuff, guys, the YouTube, but it's like now I'm seeing that, you know, what I've done these last few weeks, I can only do it for so long. And if I want to keep it up, something similar, I'm going to have to do something like that. So these are some ideas. I'd love to hear your input on them specifically, if that's something you'd like. Or if you have any other suggestions. Okay, guys, I ask you for this kind of input all the time. I so often just get input on the shit I don't need, or I directly ask you not to. This stuff, I ask you all the time. Please, guys, it's so helpful. In this world, guys, you know, voting for politicians doesn't do so much. Voting with our money and other support, it doesn't just have to be money. Super chat is just a very clear thing. But the point is that, yeah, you need to invest back in places. And a person like me, I have to kind of make you appreciate me, is the point. That's what you learn. People don't appreciate me. Well, you don't appreciate yourself then. People don't reciprocate. They don't appreciate. They don't give enough back. Well, you accept not getting enough back. And so now I'm right at that point, guys, where unfortunately there's going to be gradually fewer videos, fewer live streams for a while. I'll have to actually invest both in like personal people, like friends and stuff, and clients and the like that actually give me something more direct in return. It's not all I need, but that's where I get depleted, you know. So yeah, you can draw many conclusions from this. I would love to hear, you know, I care what other people think about me. I would love to hear it. Yeah, the good and the bad, whatever you want to, guys. I'm telling you, you can do that now. That's not the same as giving unsolicited advice on stuff that I've specifically asked you not to do. But in relation to everything I've just told you here, you feel free to give any positive or negative feedback. But, you know, ways you can support me. The obvious things are things like that. If you like live streams, like send a super chat. There is a super like function or super comment, super thanks. I wish it was like more visible, that you could like promote it under a video more. Pretty much it is the same. If you look for it, you'll find it beneath a video. It is the same as a super chat, but just with a comment, you know. And of course you can, the coaching, then you get more directly back from me. But you know, that can also be things like, oh, I can afford it. I'll invest in coaching with Theo. I maybe not need it completely to get where I want, but that I support Theo, and maybe I learned something, Like, just think of it, a relationship like that. It should always be two winners, even if money is sometimes part of the balance in business relationships. But you can buy my training book, even if you, again, are doing okay with your training. Honestly, it's a great training book. It's a unique training book. Of course, I could expand it with more technical information, but when it comes to mindset and process stuff, just what it looks like, going from someone that isn't so fit to very fit, or even more fit, it really includes everything on a level that I feel like no one else addresses, But so that would be the direct monetary support. I mean, of course, I'll leave my PayPal if someone just wants to send a donation, The thing is, I'll tell you also that it's not like I don't get any of this. Clearly, I have clients. Clearly, people buy my book. Clearly, I've gotten random donations also. But still, clearly, I end up in a place where it's like, well, it's still not in the balance. It's just not nearly enough as much as I give out there, right? But so other than that, guys, the likes and comments in general, whatever you do, it does support the algorithm somehow. Sharing videos in different places, I would love that. Reddit, wherever, it could get picked up by more people. Something go viral that wouldn't just from the algorithm. Just stuff like if you watch a live stream, writing out the timestamps, that would help me. That would help other people that watch it. It will help me if I'm going to go through, that I probably will, from some of my live stream and take out clips. Even if people just made clips for me. Make a reel, make shorts, whether you give them for me to share or if you share them. That's a sort of advertising. I would find it so fucking funny if people just started doing memes and stuff on me too, But if I tell you, do you know what doesn't cost anything? Like neither so much in effort or like money that gives me the most. It's the true recognition that I'm doing a good job, That there's nothing that means more to me than when someone tells me very directly, this is how you've helped me in this major way. I'll give a shout out to my man Miyahi, Niklas, aka Stiklas. He told me on a live stream recently that had me in tears, okay? Well, I'm not going to go over exactly what he said, but pretty much I heard him describe ending up through lots of difficulty. He shared a lot of his life and what he's been through with me. Through lots of difficulty, ending up in a place pretty much where I was directly post-panic attacks, and then continued from that point. Because, guys, it's so fucking difficult, all of this. Having everything grow so slowly. Like, being grateful for everything, but it's still like, it's not like I just get an abundance of followers, clients, money, all this stuff. I get lots of amazing stuff, but I also get so much critique, misunderstanding, hate, and just lack of recognition, that you do something so fucking difficult on yourself first and really go out of your way, tell people. And knowing that many times the way to spread it to people is doing it in a way that will make them first hate you or be angry at you, It's not easy at all. And getting that sort of feedback, it's just like, man, it is worth it. It's fucking worth it. So just that sort of support, validation if you want, confirmation, that means the world to me, guys. And I'll end this video here. To be clear, before I go, I'm not sad, depressed, angry, hurt. Like, I'm in a very neutral place, like emotions-wise. It's just the vessel, the flesh. I'm so depleted. So depleted, I can just tell that, man, I would really need to fill myself up. I'm going to have to do it by myself, but I'm asking you guys, please help me. We're in this together. No matter how much some people want to think I'm on this huge ego trip and just want everyone to know that I'm Jack the Snag Blongigacha, I'm the best and you are not. I want to pull you up to your version of that, okay? Doing that together, that's all I want. So, I've told you what you can do to support, like and comment. I do coaching. You can send donations in other places. You can look below. You could buy the training book. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fast losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality. Mindset. It is a mindset, guys. The mindset I just presented to you. I do love you guys. But I love myself as well. Clearly not as much as I love other people. But yeah, I'm gonna love myself now. But I could appreciate a little bit of love as well. Peace, guys.